So here I am, and I've got my position here. My left hand is palm down, my right hand is palm up.
Hey, what's up guys and girls? Professor Tom here. I'm here with my blue belt Dave, and we're going to have a look at how to troubleshoot the head and arm choke, or the katagatame choke. It's certainly something that a lot of you have reached out and expressed that you have trouble finishing sometimes, especially if your athletic partner is twice your size. We're going to have a look at the tips and tricks so you can finish every time. Alright guys, so if I've got Dave on his back, I've managed to get into a head and arm choke. So if he's lying down on his back, how do we get there? Maybe I'm in a half guard here and he's got a frame in my neck. I push and I get to the position, okay? Maybe I'm in side control and the same thing happens. Maybe I'm getting to mount and I attack it from here. Maybe I am in a katagatame position. You guys have probably seen my video on that one. You know I like it. And when people try to push at your head to escape and get their leg over, you can see it coming and move them down into this position. So the head and arm choke is pretty simple. It is a head and arm, okay, getting choked. So my left bicep here is against his neck. His left deltoid here will roll in and take care of that carotid artery. My head holds everything into position. So there's a couple of things that really make big differences to me when I first learned this choke, because I was never good at this choke. I was like really lanky. If you go back to the early videos on this channel, you'll see me 30 kilograms lighter than I am now. So that is in pounds, what? Geez, too many, 66 or something, I don't know, a whole lot of pounds. So I was really lanky and I just couldn't finish because I didn't have strength, which is a really wonderful thing because it makes us get good technique. So I'm going to show you a couple of tips that really help for me. So the approach that I don't personally like is to have this thumb up, so the sharp bone is in the back of his neck here, so my radius bone on his vertebra, and then I hold like this and I go down. I don't like that. I find, yes, it can choke people, but it hurts people's necks a lot too. And for me, taking care of my training partners and students is paramount. So if I can get a choke without a neck crank, that's going to be something that's very beneficial for me, both personally and for my partners too. So one of the ways that really helped me first to finish this choke was to actually move into a katagatame style position. So I'll demonstrate that as option one to help you finish, and then we'll look at other options that won't require it.
So here I am, and I've got my position here. My left hand is palm down, my right hand is palm up. I prefer to have my left hand palm down, guys, because then my bicep head is long, so it's going to hit his neck wherever his carotid artery meets it. If I go palm up, my bicep head will shorten. Okay, so then if his carotid artery is here, that's not going to do the job. Sure, if it's here, it's going to do great, but here or here, it just won't do the job. So I like to go left hand palm down. Once I've got my left hand palm down, my right hand joins in palm up, head to head, and I'll kick my left leg through and lift his head up. What does this do? Well, it's going to put all of my 220 plus pounds through that chest. If you only weigh 150 pounds, it's going to put your 150 pounds through that chest. 100 pounds, it doesn't matter. That's still a lot of weight. We're going to go through the chest. That's going to stop his breathing a little bit. By pulling up his head, it's going to help truncate like his trachea here, and sometimes we'll even get a suffocation factor because his nose and mouth and stuff like this, when I pull him up, starts getting all compressed in. So this is very unique, but then watch my finishing motion. I'm going to extend my hands straight out. What does that do? Well, it's going to push this bicep into the neck. See how when I straighten my arm out, you think that would be loosening it, but the bicep will travel in this lateral direction into the neck. And then I pull around, okay? So poor Dave here, you'll see his head go a little bit red when I do this. So I get him off the ground, extend, and around, okay? This is very tough. It's hard to get out of, it sucks. I let my students start in whatever position they want on me, but no one gets to start here, okay? Because it's just too tough. So that's one way to deal with it, especially if the guy was double your size. That means you're never going to lack squeeze. However, maybe regardless of size, you don't like to finish like that and you want to finish from here. So the basic rule of thumb is that I want to keep my head to his head and drift as low as I can with my hips.
One of the best head and arm defenses is actually a backwards roll over the trap shoulder, which would leave him on top of me. So that's going to ensure me against that. And then what I'm going to do is, as I melt into the mat, guys, my choking arm is going to flap my wing down. This is a game changer. This is going to change your choke. Yes, try to squeeze, but you've always been trying to squeeze. So now when I've got Dave here and I sink down, I focus on this. This is outrageously strong, and you'll really make good use of the left bicep into his neck. So as I go flat, my left elbow comes in and I get a really tight choke using the full power of my lats, not just my bicep squeezing, okay? So there's a couple little tips. Sometimes it doesn't go exactly right. So maybe I've got Dave, but the angle's off and he's turned a bit to his side. See how he's turned a bit to his side? So at any time I've got that, I could go to a seatbelt, slide my knee up, and now pull him over into a back control, okay? So that's an easy option to do. However, you can also do the back take via an arm in Ezekiel. You can do it in the gi. I've got videos on that, and we can also do it no gi. So if he's turned on his side, it ruins the choke, okay? But what I do is I grab onto my bicep, and I put my fist up behind his head, and then I put my knee up behind my elbow. I pull him onto me here, and now I have an incredibly tight choke. If ever it was starting to not work, I would just move to back control and then start to attack him in attacks from back control. So there you have it, guys. A couple little things we can do when we've got a head and arm katagatame choke and how to finish. The biggest thing for me was mixing the pot like that and putting all that weight through their chest, because it just chokes you through non-carotid artery measures. However, if you're going to go flat, which a lot of you have probably trained to do, wing that elbow in. It's the biggest game changer you're ever going to have. And then make sure you're breathing through your squeeze. Count to 30. If people don't go to sleep straight away, make sure you can squeeze them for long enough. Thanks for watching the video, guys. I hope you can hit subscribe. We're trying to hit 100,000 subscribers. Don't forget to check out thegrapplingacademy.com for some premium and free courses we've got just on that website. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope to see you on the mat sometime soon.